Have you ever sat outside on a quiet night and noticed how the moon feels like it's looking right back at you? Maybe you were sitting on your back porch or lying awake at 2 a.m., staring through the window, feeling a kind of stillness that's both beautiful and aching. There's a reason people have turned to the moon for comfort, for poetry, and for prayer, because the moon knows how to be alone, and yet it never seems lonely. In today's video, I want to talk to you, heart to heart, about aging alone. Whether it's because a partner has passed, your children have moved far away, or life simply didn't unfold the way you imagined the reality is. More and more of us are navigating the later years without a built-in support system, and that can feel heavy, quiet, even frightening at times. But what if the solitude you're experiencing isn't a punishment, but an invitation? What if there's something sacred waiting to be discovered in this quieter phase of life? That's what the moon taught me, and I'd like to share her lessons with you. One, stillness isn't emptiness. It's a different kind of presence. We've been conditioned to associate stillness with lack. No noise, no people, no plans. Must mean something is missing, right? But have you ever watched the moon on a cloudless night? It doesn't speak. It doesn't move. It doesn't try to impress. And yet, its presence fills the sky. I once knew a man named Gerald, 72, living alone after his wife passed. He said the first year felt like walking through fog. The silence of the house was deafening. Until one night, unable to sleep, he made a cup of tea, sat on the back steps, and just listened. No TV, no distractions, just moonlight on his shoulders. That became his ritual, and in that stillness, he found something he hadn't heard in a long time. His own breath, his own thoughts, his own peace. Stillness, he realized, wasn't absence. It was presence, his own. Two, you can shine, even in darkness. The moon doesn't create its own light. It reflects. And yet, how many poems have been written about it? How many lonely hearts have looked up and found comfort in its glow? That's the gift of aging alone. You don't have to radiate like you did in your 30s. You don't have to prove or perform or impress. You just have to reflect the light that's still inside you. I met Eleanor, 67, at a grief support group. No children, widowed young, years of solitude. But you should see the way she cares for her garden. She plants with intention. She speaks to her roses. And she says, "When my hands are in the soil, I don't feel alone. I feel alive." Her light might not be loud, but it reaches deep. 3. You're not broken, you're becoming. We live in a culture that fears aging, as if growing older means becoming irrelevant. But the moon reminds us, every phase has its beauty. Full, crescent, waning. She's never the same, and never less than whole. You too are in a phase. Not the phase of building a career or raising children, but the phase of becoming. More distilled, more honest, more yourself. Frank, 74, once told me, "I've stopped chasing things. Now I listen more. I notice more. I feel more." That's the gift age gave me. He's not fading. He's unfolding. For love doesn't end, it changes shape. The moon has long been a symbol of love, not fiery like the sun, but enduring. Its presence is soft, gentle, quietly reliable. When you age alone, it can feel like love has disappeared. But maybe it's just taken on a quieter form. Love now might look like a neighbor bringing soup when you're sick, or a letter from a friend you haven't heard from in years, or the way your dog curls up beside you without asking for anything. There's a widow named Miriam I know, 80 years old, never remarried. She tells me her love story is ongoing. It's not just with people anymore, she says. It's with the sky, the birds, the smell of coffee in the morning. I'm still in love, just differently. Don't assume love is gone. It might just be whispering instead of shouting. 5. Being alone isn't the same as being lonely. Let's be honest. Yes, there are moments that ache. Holiday dinners with an empty chair. Phone calls that never come. Birthdays that pass with only your own candle lit. But being alone isn't always lonely. In fact, solitude can be the soil where peace, creativity, and even freedom grow. I once asked a retired nurse who lived alone what she missed most. She paused and said, "Nothing. I don't have to please anyone anymore. I don't apologize for my naps or my silence. I read when I want. I cry when I need. I sing in the kitchen. I am alone, but I am free. Sometimes solitude isn't an emptiness. It's a return to yourself. 6. You are a witness to this beautiful world. The moon doesn't do much. It doesn't fix or solve or run around. It simply witnesses. Quietly. Consistently. That is your gift, too. You've lived, loved, lost, learned, and now you have the privilege of witnessing this world with wiser eyes. One older man I met volunteers at a community garden. He doesn't do the heavy lifting anymore. He just sits on a bench and watches. When the kids run past, he smiles. When a plant blooms, he notices. He told me, "I've done the running. Now I do the witnessing." That's enough. 7. The moon is never truly alone, and neither are you. Here's a thought. The moon looks alone in the sky, but it's always orbiting something, always part of something larger. So are you. There are people, you may not even know them yet, who will be blessed simply by your presence, your wisdom, your quiet smile, your lived experience. And more than that, you belong to something ancient and vast, to the tide, to the seasons, to the sky. You are not invisible. You are part of a rhythm so much bigger than what you see. So tonight, if the house feels too quiet, if your heart feels a little too heavy, step outside. Look up. Let the moon remind you. You are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are simply becoming. And maybe, just maybe, this chapter of aging alone isn't the end of your story, but the most quietly beautiful part of it. Now I'd love to hear from you. Has solitude in your life taught you anything surprising? Do you have a moon moment you hold dear? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I read each one. And if this video brought you any comfort, please give a like, subscribe for more reflections like this, and consider sending it to someone who might need this reminder. You are loved, you are luminous, and you are never as alone as you think. Thank you for being here. Until next time.